Okay, hello targeted individuals. I want to share some stuff with you guys that may help you guys out that are stressed out to the max. This is no cure for your problems. I'm just like any other person. I have my own limits too when it comes as far as harassment. And I've had to confront and tell some people off because I've been systematically harassed. Now, I have found taking like red hibiscus has been beneficial for me when I've been under a lot of stress. Also, zinc. You may notice that you may experience a tremendous amount of hair loss, and I've been taking zinc with garlic. Now, this is perhaps a 2-month supply, maybe a couple months, because look how much I've used just in 2 months, taking a teaspoon a day. So, and I also like taking different mushroom teas, and I think it's called mangosteen tea. I find it beneficial. And another one, which I don't know if this is the most healthiest brand, but it's my favorite, and it's a red date tea. It's really, really good. So I take these teas to increase my energy levels, to increase my energy levels, to make me feel better so I won't become sick and depressed. And I have found this to be extremely useful. It's called HempWorks, 750 milligrams. I paid like $99 for this. It lasts for like 50 days. So what you would want to do is just get the drop. First you would want to shake it really, really good. And to use this properly, just go ahead and just fill up like a dropper full. Put it under your tongue. And I let it sit there for like 20 seconds. And after about 5 minutes, it'll hit you. And it's legal. It helps relieve stress, depression, heart palpitations. It's great. I don't take any medications besides Ambien to sleep. And I'm trying to stay away from any type of anxiety medication, anything like that. Because if you ever have a drink and you take an anxiety medication, it can increase or intensify the depression, the anxiety by 100, and it can last for days. And I'm all the time looking at different things and experimenting with things that will help me to relieve myself of anxiety and stress. Now, a lot of, especially older women, you'll notice they're thinning, like when where their hairline is at, due to hair dyes. But also, you'll see that a lot of them that do not dye their hair they get these patches. You'll see a lot of men these days that have alopecia on their beard, their face, or they have no eyelashes, or they have no hair. And it's because of stress or autoimmune disease. It doesn't mean that they're contagious. It just means that their immune system is out of whack. And you'll notice that a lot of men these days that are African American are developing these patches, and poor whites. One thing that I've been doing to relieve myself of stress is using this acupuncture device. Matter of fact, let me show you the bag. I paid a total of $3, I think, and 12 cents, shipping and handling. It comes with other little pieces, smaller little nozzles. And what I do is I start right around my ear, and I just go 1, 2, 3, and I slide 1, 2, 3, and I go all the way down till I get to about my eye, about ½ inch from my eye. And I just go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You don't want to leave it there too long, because cupping, if you look at how the Muslims do cupping, you'll notice that, or other cultures, you'll notice that they'll develop purple spots, and it can take weeks for it to go away. So when you're applying pressure to your face, just do it for a couple seconds and let go. If you need it longer, try an area where no one can see, like under your leg, and leave it there for like 20 seconds and see if you develop a mark a couple hours later. You don't want to be walking around with red marks on your face. Now hold on 1 second, because I want to share something else interesting. Now, you want to make sure you get the right type of bulbs, but if you're losing hair due to stress, or you just want to do some type of color therapy, this is a great tool. Let me go ahead and plug it up. I believe I paid maybe like $4 for this light. It's actual, you can use it for growing a vegetable in your backyard, plant, whatever. And I use it for color therapy. And I paid only like $3 for this thing. And if you get these things the wrong wavelength, it can cause hair loss. So you want to try to get one that's like a grow light. And you'll notice that a lot of these products for hair growth, they're like, you know, hundreds of dollars, if not over $1,000, $2 or $3 grand for these helmets, or these like plastic hats. It's like a device. It's like shaped as your head, and it has all these LED lights, and they're hundreds of bucks. So I just have this cord right here I bought at Savers, and you can even use a lamp, and I just do this right here. So this will help with anxiety, with stress, depression. Try not to shine too much towards my eyes, but around my face, around my head, or you can actually have it hanging. Hold on one second, this phone's driving me insane. My stupid phone will not stop beeping unless I get it. So this device is very, very useful. Now, I've experienced a lot of harassment in schools and on U.S. planes where my plane, my seat on the plane is being changed, and then I'm being harassed by people in the same manner I've been harassed here. This has been going on since around 2013, and these people normally come in pairs, like a woman, a lady, and a man, and they'll purposely have me placed nearby the door with the handle. It's really scary because I don't like sitting next to that area. And I'm being harassed systematically. So I've got myself this MCC, the Merchant Mariner credential, and you can look up, let me see here, it's 7FAM 750. So it is a code that, like say you're destitute, you go to another country, and you need to come back to America, you can use this as a tactic to come back. That's if you've exhausted all your resources, and you want to look at those laws really, really good to make sure that you know your stuff. So let me see what else I have I can share with you guys. So also look at getting peppermint. Peppermint is an awesome essential oil. I love to put it on my vents of my car. Even your AC, you can put a couple of drops on your little filter, your little AC filter, and you may smell a little bit of that peppermint smell. It's great for uplifting your spirits. Trying to listen to depressing music when you're using peppermint. Try to listen to upbeat, lively music that does not create a sense of despair or depression. Like Enya, I like her music, but some of it can cause depression. So I'm always looking for things that will bring about a more happier state. Now, I want to share some other things here. My room's a mess. Forgive me. I got stuff everywhere. So I'm all the time looking at crystals and things I can buy. And I keep my bed against my wall on purpose. Now, I know this looks really bad. I prefer to have my bed closer to the wall. And I prefer not to have to use this aluminum shield, and you can buy it at Lowe's probably for about $7. It's rolled up, and I put 2 thumbtacks. And behind my wall is the dryer. So I was getting, a couple hundred volts of, EMF coming out from there. So I'm getting all that EMF. I think it's like 250 volts. So I'm getting all that EMF. And I noticed that when I put my meter there, or I had a radio on a certain setting and I go close to it, you would hear no sound. So it's a lot better. I sleep a lot better. I'm a lot more happier. So let me see what else I wanted to share. Hold on one second. So make sure my camera doesn't turn out while I'm sharing this. So those are a few things you can do to help yourself if you're stressed out. And I shared in one of my other videos, I bought this kit. They're like $2, and I got a box full of these razors, some ink, all this right here. I got a box of it, and I got it for let me get it real quick. Here, I got it here for like $3 from China. So it's a box full of these needles, ink, the ring to put on your finger, and I like to do this right here for fun. I'm not going to do it for a living, but I like to do different things to keep me busy and learn. It's called the feather stroke technique. Before, people used to have their eyebrows colored in, and now they do these lines to make it look realistic. It costs quite a bit, so I do it for fun. And you can buy other inks. I have rotary drills and stuff you can buy that are very cheap on eBay. So I'm constantly looking, what can I do to improve my life? How can I have peace of mind? And I want to share another thing. I wrote it down here, a little note here, about NLP techniques. These are being trained to students. These are being trained. These tactics are being shared with law enforcement and military personnel, community watch groups. People can practice these NLP techniques with no experience, really. Just they can learn it really in a minute or two. There's no science to it, but of course it gets advanced. And I studied some different things related to hypnosis a while back, because I wanted to find ways to relieve myself of anxiety, depression, and change my state of mind where I feel better about myself, because no person that's being systematically harassed is going to feel good about themselves if their community is persistently harassing them and monitoring them, and instead of helping them, they're trying to hurt them. So you got to understand, your law enforcement agencies, you know, a lot of these people are just people just got certification, and there's regular people, and people get puffed up, and they get with these intelligence agencies that are telling these people that you're a problem. So everywhere you move, it's like you're going to be a problem. If you go to school after school and you're experiencing this harassment, then know that you're not the problem. These are tactics that I have noticed them using towards me. I have their tags, and I actually can prove that they all are interconnected. Let's say you are talking to a neighbor, and your neighbor comes and says, I need to borrow something. It can be anything. So then that same thing that they borrowed from you, you may go eat, and then it's laying right next to your car. You go to another place, it's laying next to your car. You're going driving, you've got 30 white cars behind you numerous times a day. You go for a walk, and people are wearing black shirts nonstop. You're hearing gunshots behind your house, having house break-ins where they've never happened before. So these are all NLP techniques. These are community policing tactics, and tactics that even intelligence agencies use to let you know that, hey, we're harassing you. It's not about protecting the public, protecting your mental health and your safety and well-being. It's about making you sick. Some of this stuff is being done under research titles, in my opinion. So let me see what other notes I have here that I can share. It's pretty much it. So a lot of these NLP techniques, I can go on literally for, my God, probably days, just sharing the tactics that are used and the serious damages that it causes to people in our communities. It's actually linked to shootings and linked to horrible events. It's being used also by psychologists and teachers and groups of people to change people's opinions concerning certain things that they support. So it works mostly good on young adults and young kids, people that are grown and that are not a part of a group. It's not going to have too much of an impact on. The only thing that it will cause is severe anger. Instead of helping the person, it will cause harm to the person to the point where they will start to lash out at those that are doing that to them. So you want to always have DVR sunglasses. Now, a lot of these DVR sunglasses aren't the best, and I hate to open this up now because every time I open it up, buttons fall out. But there's these little mini DVR cameras. They're like you can get them for like $5 on eBay. You can take the battery out of that and put them in these, and this will last for years. So these don't last that long, so you have to play around with different stuff. And those little DVR cams that are black, they're real small. You can insert like a little SD card in them. They're great. I mean, they're better than some of the $100 DVR sunglasses. I bought these right here for like, I think $5 or $6. They normally go for $20 to $18, and they look better than my $200 Oakleys that I used to have. So I love them. They're good. They protect my eyes really good. They're awesome, and I can record, stick a little cord in here, plug it to my computer. I mean, you know, for less than $20, you know, where can you find? What can you hardly buy for that? You can hardly buy a Happy Meal for that kind of money. So it's a great tool to have. So then another thing you guys might want to start looking at is getting yourself a passport, the Merchant Mariner card. I don't plan on using it. I'm probably going to throw it here in the trash can a little bit. But it's a great tool, great thing to have. So if you're going to leave the country, maybe you're younger than me, and you don't maybe you don't have a lot of money, you don't know how things are going to work out, you don't have a lot of resources, you can just roll your dice with this right here. So that can help you to come back if you need to. Hopefully you will not have to if you can get away. So I'm all the time looking at what I can do to uplift myself, not bring myself down. And let me stress this: zinc is so good for you. I had lost all my hair due to developing alopecia. I developed an alopecia due to extreme stress because I was being persistently harassed in schools, and I was like being hacked. I was unable to do my schoolwork, and this was school after school. I thought it was a domestic terrorist group like ISIS or something doing this to me, but then I discovered it was people that work and live in our communities, like law enforcement, people in the military, and this has been school after school. So I have to go to another country to go to school to get a proper education. So I've been going through this since the harassment in school started around the age of 26. Now I'm 40, about to turn 40, and it's still occurring. So these LED lights, they also help too. Oh my God. It's important that you get sunlight. If you don't get sunlight, then you're going to notice your system is all out of whack if you don't want to go outside. As far as communicating with people, I understand a lot of you guys are being encouraged to go out and communicate with people. Now here's the problem: when you're a hard target, these people will get into your groups that you're involved in to cause problems, and they will use slander. So I would encourage people to look more towards any country. It's not like sharing information with the UK. A lot of the stuff that's going on in America is being implemented in the UK and in other countries like the Five Eye countries. Not to say that the echelon thing is involved, but the information sharing going on with America in America is causing even people that are they're Anglo, they're racist, they have the right to have their own viewpoints. I'm Hispanic, and unfortunately some of these guys are being targeted due to our information sharing, so their constitutional rights are being violated. So as part of being American, you have the right to believe in what you want to believe, as long as it's not going to harm no one, but you have the right to freedom of thought and expression. So information sharing is causing a lot of harm towards people. It's being utilized by secret societies, radical feminists. These people aren't really hard to find. And it's sad that it's reached a point where we're targeting people in our schools and in our communities to not get them off the streets, but in order to engineer problems. So try everything you can to uplift yourself, to feel better about yourself. And this light, like I said, I have a picture, I have to look for it. I lost all my hair on my face. It was falling out. So the zinc, the garlic, using the LED light, I started trying different things, and I noticed that my life just changed. And this right here, the iris oil, I love this. Putting peppermint on your AC, your car, turn the heat on, maybe for a minute or two, and the smell is so good. You can just put the regular AC. For some reason, I think it gets better when I put the heater on for a little bit. I don't know why. The smells are stronger, I think. So you can use a piece of cotton, or you can just put a couple of drops around your AC and it'll just uplift your spirit. So if someone is trying to bring you down, realize they're not trying to improve your life. If you're being harassed in your community, and you're being harassed in every state you go to, in every community, realize that this is being done by people in your community, by fellow Americans. And they want you to move, and they consider you a problem, but you were never a problem until someone made you to become a problem. So if you're being harassed and you're complaining about it and no one's stopping the harassment, then who's the problem? And if you move, is it going to stop? No. So you have to realize that you have to do everything in your power to try to pump yourself up. Some days I have to say, like, look, today's a great day. I use these positive affirmations. One day I was trying to get to go watch the fireworks at this country club, and they told me that I was not allowed to go in there because I didn't have a new car. And I just said out loud, I'm going to live here one day when I drove off. And then 2 months later, I lived there. And I wanted to go to Thailand. I started saying, you know, I'm going to go to Thailand. And I went. Now, I'm not going to say it's always going to work. Positive affirmations seem to work for some people. And it worked for me a couple times. It hasn't made me rich. I'm not married. I haven't been on a date in, God knows, probably 12 years since I started to change my life. But hey, you know, it's helped me in some ways. So maybe there's some power in positive affirmations. But realize that you have the right as a human being to live, and that people in your country and your government don't have the right to systematically harass and invade your privacy and abuse you by utilizing people in the community that are non-deputized and that have not sworn an oath to even protect our country, but are just getting a paycheck. Remember, a lot of these people that are being used by these different groups are paying people to do this. People normally don't risk their lives to engineer acts of terrorism against our government unless they're being paid. So remember, people are paid to do this. If people are harassing you every time you're spending quality time with relatives flying from a different country to see you, realize that this has nothing to do with community policing. This has nothing to do with homeland security. But it has to do with invading your privacy and harassing you. That's all it has to do with. So if you have the money, I encourage all Americans that are hard targets to leave as soon as possible. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your life. Don't throw it away for fake patriotic hogwash, because these people that are doing this to you, they are the homeowners. They are the business owners. They are the people that make up the 1%, that make up the majority of people that have. So realize that 60% of Americans are homeowners, from what I read. The people that are being targeted are normally, they're not homeowners. And then you have all these philosophical writings from different people, from different countries that state that through using NLP, we can change communities. We have a right to transform our communities. But this is the thing about it. No matter how many people are in these groups, no matter how many people are middle class, you're always going to have cities where you're going to have huge portions of people that are not only unemployed, but are unable to get a job due to social economic factors. You know, so there's always going to be poor people. What are we going to do? Target everyone that's poor? So you have to realize that poverty is always going to exist. People do not have the right to transform their community because it's impossible to, unless you're providing an equal wage for all people. If that was the case, we wouldn't have prisons. We wouldn't need prisons if we lived in this equal world. Look at what's going on in India. Look at all the poverty there. So all these people, all this hogwash about using NLP tactics and all that stuff, a lot of these NLP tactics that police are using are going to cause them harm, more harm than good. And we've already seen that. I can tell you quite a few people that I have talked to, and they have told me about things that have happened due to police harassing them in their communities, and how people have gone out and lashed out. And I don't encourage that, but I do encourage people to do everything in their power to improve their health and their state of mind by utilizing herbs. I even have this really cool red hematite crystal. I carry things to raise my vibrational state so I can experience peace and tranquility. You're not going to be able to have normal relationships, long-lasting relationships in America if your community is trying to distort your perception of reality, trying to ridicule, harass, slander you, and follow you everywhere you go. And what's happened is, with all this funding for community policing and surveillance, DHS, the FBI, all their little buddy contractors are getting money. So instead of them helping to improve your state, what's happening is you're being placed under severe surveillance. So we have massive surveillance. I can literally tell you, gosh, over 100 companies are being used as surveillance tools for DOD, the FBI, and other organizations. So we have a lot of spying going on people that it's not even called for. So when people are confronting people, it's because they're being harassed. If someone's doing something wrong, we have a legal process. I'm pretty sure that any targeted individual that's doing something wrong that's confronted by police is not going to have a hard time confessing what they've done wrong. Because who in the heck would we want to be free when you're better off in a prison when the people there are not even harassed? You know, we don't see people in our communities complaining about harassment. So these targeted individuals are normally women, marginalized white men, and Hispanic and black men, even Asian. It's people of all nationalities, but it's always, for some reason, the majority are marginalized people. They're scientists, inventors, people that have discovered something, which is a threat to the elite. So you have all these lawmakers. They get together. You have some elitists, and they pursue people covertly through targeting people, trying to eliminate them. That's what they want to do to the hard targets. They want to eliminate them because they are no use. They are no use to society in their eyes. And in many cases, they have the potential to do good, have a livable income, but they don't want that. That's how evil this program is. These people would actually do everything in their power to not only prevent that, but to make sure you're harassed at work, at school, in all areas of your life. That's how serious, that's how dedicated these domestic terrorists are to causing problems in our country. Not only can I prove the agencies they work for and the uniforms they wear, I can actually show people some stuff that if I was to show, I don't think I'd be alive a long time, because it goes as far as this movement is international and it's operating through a lot of I call Academy Award winners. You got a lot of scumbags driving new cars, living in big houses that would actually use these programs to harm people, to harm Americans. There's some really sick crap going on, and you will notice that this movement is full of people in the intelligence community, and a lot of these people, they don't give a damn. They're predominantly white, predominantly racist, and the blacks that do get involved because they got to make a living, you know? They got to make a living. I got a lot of these people's tags. I give them a flyer, but when I'm going through, then 3 days later I find them at a park, and there's like 2 or 3 white cars, and they're spitting towards me and all this crap. I got their tags. It's not hard to find out who these people work for. So a lot of this trash is all they want to do is instigate problems. They're not, you know, someone's a problem and they're asking for help and you're not helping them. Who is the problem? Anyways, that's all I have to share. Peace. After being ran out of a church due to all this mobbing, I started turning to other things that have helped me to get answers. And sometimes they form letters. I make diagrams, so that way I can actually see what's a Y or a G. And if you throw them and you get 5 and a 1, it usually means a yes. Or sometimes if the shells are touching too close like that, that'll be a yes. So let me just give you an example. Is today a sunny day? It is. So you get 5 and a 1. So you see, 1 shell fell. So I have my different methods of being able to get questions. So if you throw the shells and you get something like, where 2 shells, I have 6 shells, and then one of those is on top of another and it's like that, that would mean a yes. Or if it's touching like that, that'd be 1 shell. So I've been using these different methods to get answers. So I like to go and get somewhere and throw them behind myself, and then I like to get answers. Now when you get them in a straight line like this right here, that'll normally mean a no. And sometimes you can measure it out and it'll be the exact same distance. It's pretty wild, but it happens quite a bit and I have witnesses to it. I've even done it on windy days outside. Peace. You may notice is that when you get out of your car, you may have a black car there, and you may look and there'll be like 3 black cars. And a lot of times what these people do is they will actually try to blend in with other cars. So that way you think more than 2 or 3 people are on your tail. Black cars. Anyways, Okay, I just got here and came back and noticed these same two vehicles pulled back up. They're clip again. You hear him? He said ramming speed. And see, the guy they tell him the lane is closed, and he hit me with his cart. He said ramming speed with the cart. They said the lane was closed, and it was closed, and he's still bothering me. Look, see, and he's mocking me. He assaults me with his cart, and they couldn't really see it because they're taking care of my groceries. Telling him the lane's closed, and he's telling me I'm crazy. I think he's crazy. You're gonna injure someone. So it's all about harassment, people. This movement. It's people yelling and screaming in my face. This was happening all over town. I first moved here. This non-stop harassment. Everywhere I'm going, it's non-stop harassment. And this is daily. When I'm going for drives, I'll have people, like accidentally want to hurt me. I'm going to get my mail. I've had people come to me like they want to injure me. So someone is slandering me. Someone is trying to cause me to be harmed. (9/23/2017). I have the wrong time for this clock. I have to change the time. Anyways, look at these lines right here. You see them? They're like in the bar. And look at this. Now watch this. Now I want you to see where my hand is at, because matter of fact, I'm going to scoot back so you can see all my actions. So I want to click this and click that right there. And let me open up another window. We should see a lot of lines start forming. Look at that. Now here's my hands. Both of them are I'm holding the phone. Here's my other hand. Look at this. I'm experiencing cyber attacks. Now let me open another, and I want you to see where my hands are at. Hopefully my camera can zoom in, because what I want to do is I want to click one X off of there. Now I'm holding my camera and I have my other finger. I'm going to try to use just one finger, so that way I'm going to open up another window right there. Now watch this. Look at the screen. So I'm experiencing cyber attacks. This is one of the reasons why I can't work anywhere. So let me do it again. Let me go here. Here's my finger. And I have this phone in my hand, so let's click another window. Let's see what happens. Look at this. Here's my other hand. I'm holding the camera, and look, it keeps going. It keeps going. It doesn't stop. So let's do this again. I have my finger here on my keyboard, and open up a window. Look at it go. See, look, here's my other hand. It doesn't stop going, and see, look, my other hand is right here. I'm holding this camera up approximately 13 inches. Because look at my elbow. It's right here. So my elbow is straight up. So I'm holding it up high. And there's my hand, which is holding it. This is my left hand. So, and if you see this thing in the background, I know you probably think it's tacky, but I have 240 volts of electricity going behind my washer and dryer, and I'm sensitive to EMF. So I put this back there, the shielding. I take it off when guests come over. So let me do this again. And let me see, look, here's my other hand. It doesn't stop. And then I've had this other, let me do it one more time. And then I'm going to point this camera up. I'm going to See right there, there's a window right there. I'm about to click to open up another tab. But I'm going to put my finger right here so you can see it. Now look. It keeps going. It keeps going and going. Here's my other hand. So I want you to see that this is where my elbow is at. Look, my elbow is here. My hand's up here. So let's say it's probably maybe 17 inches or something, or around, yeah, 15, 16 inches. I'm just estimating. I don't even know. So then I have the camera up here. So let's do this again. I'm going to show you where my finger is at. I'm going to point it up here to open up a tab, and then I'm going to press. See, and my hand's here the whole time. I just have it laying down. So let me do this one more time. Here's my fingers, and I have my hand here. I'm being attacked. That's it. What's really odd is that I had made a police report concerning being followed around by people wearing jackets, and it was over 100 degrees, and these people, it was really strange. It was like once I would get in my car and leave my place, they would park their cars, and then once I'm about to go out the gate, the back gate of where I live, these people will jump out of a car, park real quick, and you could see them wearing a black jacket, normally black clothes, and it's like all of a sudden, and it's really quick. Let me see if I can get a little clip of it. But anyways, you could see for a second a little bit of what this person looked like. So anyways, I shared it a second ago. Let me see if I can get it again. Now I don't know if you can see it, but it's right here. And it's right when I drive out of my place. And what's strange is that it was happening all the time. And I would never see no one else the whole entire day wearing a jacket. And then I started having these encounters. Let me give you an example. Let's say you get out of a mall and you see something like this right here. And sometimes it was even way more cars than that, where you would see no other model car, all the same models. It was the craziest thing. Now, wouldn't it make you think,
this lady right here is getting in a car.
Hold on a second.
It's the same model car as the other.
So anyways, I had these encounters where these people were driving the same model cars, and it was numerous times a day where it might be 3 or 4 model cars like this right here, all lined up. But the people, when I would confront them, like they didn't know each other. It was the strangest thing, and I have a lot of videos like that. I'm not sharing because it's mostly women with kids. And they go in stores and they literally go out and harass people. And that's pretty much it. Peace. Okay, I'm just writing a memo. Now look at this.